What's good? It's just John O, and today I'm here to talk about small things that have changed my life. I know this topic's going to be kind of like pretty small and short, so I'm not going to really say too much, but just give my explanations. So, one of the things that I've noticed that's actually changed my life is not necessarily comparing to others, but comparing in a sense that whatever I've done in my life and whatever I've accomplished in my life has nothing to do with other people and what they've accomplished in their life. Now, I know it's good to have competition in life, and a friendly competition can actually be a positive thing because it can actually push you past your limits, whether it's people doing this in business. This is something I actually admire about people, and this is something I look up to people with when it comes to, like, for example, their businesses and how if they compete or compare to someone, they're competing and comparing with someone at the same level as them, or if they're competing and comparing with someone that's above them in many levels, whether it's objectively or not. When it comes to business standings, they're at a point where they're not low enough to not even make it to that level. One day they can make it to that level, and that's quite inspirational to me. That's actually happened to a lot of people on the internet. They've actually had uh, zero to small followings, no followings at all, and then within like a year or something, they just blow up and they just start to pop off, and their channel starts to grow, and then they actually gain a good audience that actually shows that they actually have reliable content, whatever the topic may be. Because there's a lot of things that people post on social media that a lot of people may not find interesting, but then they always find that niche market and that niche audience, and then they always go for that, and then they always end up getting that. So one thing I've noticed I've stopped doing though personally was I don't try to do that in my life because I've noticed that, let's just say for example, like I was reading something that said a star athlete that I know didn't really, he didn't get good grades in his early years, like in around like high school. Like it was like one of the final big tests coming up from. He didn't get good grades in that, and I resonated with that in a negative sense because I was someone that actually always got terrible grades, and I'd never actually pride myself on that, and I'd never pride myself on last minute studying or not studying at all to even get anything completed or done. But what I did when I noticed that was like I compared it to myself immediately, and I was like, well, he's a star athlete, so it like I guess it didn't matter to him. Maybe education did matter to him, but I want to be the complete opposite. Even if I'm getting terrible grades in my life, for example, or I'm not doing the best, I don't want to compare to someone that also had that same struggle and that same story, but ended up making it work in another way. Because I don't want to be a person that says, hey, well, then we must have the same type of story, and I can copy you and I can probably get to similar results in my life, even if we're not doing the same thing, because we do have similar scenarios when it comes to the topic of education, for example. So it's like a lot of it has to do with comparing and competing with people. I don't like really doing that anymore. Like, I understand the healthy way of doing it is positive, but I don't like to do it because it always makes me seem like A, I can never attain anything in my life, and whatever I want to attain in my life isn't even related to that topic, or B, it just makes it seem like that person would never even consider me in any sense, and that's actually not the best thing for me because it breeds something in me that makes me think, well, why would I even bother trying to do whatever I'm trying to do now? That's just something that I'm trying to overcome. And the best way I can say that the small thing that I'm saying that's actually been changing my life with not comparing myself to others is that I don't try to do that within a sense of being competitive or comparative anymore. I just try to focus on my life, and I just try to get the small wins. That's all I'm literally trying to do at this point. It's a struggle every day, and I know others have it pretty rough. I consider myself someone to not try to fall into a victim story, but try to inspire myself every day, and not just go off inspiration, but try to have a good consistency and a discipline. That's the number one thing I'm trying to do. Whilst even making this channel, I'm actually trying to work on becoming much more consistent. Anyway, this is just John O. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.